Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. Jeffrey Cooperstein here with you. Hope everyone is enjoying their Friday. It is my day off, but I had to come at you guys with a little video surrounding the latest regarding Mavs head coach Jason Kidd and the possibility that he could be leaving Dallas for the New York Knicks head coaching job. According to Marc Stein, the New York Knicks are expected to request permission to interview Jason Kidd for their head coaching job in the coming days, and according to Stein, as of right now, it's unclear exactly how the Mavericks will respond to that request. So it's certainly possible that the Mavericks may grant permission to the Knicks to interview Kidd for that head coaching spot. Again, Jason Kidd has 2 years left on his contract, so if the Knicks did want to hire Kidd, they would have to give the Mavericks some sort of compensation in the form of probably draft picks if they wanted to hire him as their next head coach. And this all is, I gotta say, pretty surprising to me, as I thought that Jason Kidd was pretty happy here in Dallas and wanted to be the face of this quote-unquote reload alongside Cooper Flagg and with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, both of whom he has fantastic relationships with. I figured Kidd would be pretty content with this job right now. But the fact that Jason Kidd has not come out and completely denied these rumors and denied the fact that he has interest in this job kind of tells me that there is interest on both Jason Kidd's side and the Knicks side. And it tells me that the Mavericks also, who have not yet released a statement or a denial of any sorts, would be okay with Kidd leaving. And all of that seems absolutely crazy to me, because if you really look at the situation here, if let's say Jason Kidd ends up going to the New York Knicks, Kidd goes, that means Kyrie Irving goes, right? Irving has until June 24th, which we sit right now, that's 18 days from now as we sit here on June 6th, to exercise his player option. If Jason Kidd is no longer the Mavericks head coach, why would Kyrie Irving not opt out and at least test the market and see what's out there for him? If I was Kyrie and I have an extremely close relationship with Kidd, who was one of my idols growing up, I would consider leaving. And if Kyrie leaves, I think that means Anthony Davis has to be traded, and the Mavericks are going to be sitting with basically a full rebuild with Cooper Flagg as the number one overall pick, a new head coach, and at that point, I think there would need to be a new GM as well, because there's no reason to Nico Harrison leading this thing forward if Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis are no longer on this roster. Now, you could have argued that you should have fired Nico on February 2nd, the day after he did what he did, but that's neither here nor there, and as of right now, he's here. So we'll see what happens, but Jason Kidd, it looks like there is at least some level of interest on Kidd's side to go to the New York Knicks, which if you would have asked me 3 days ago, I would have told you, you're pretty crazy if you think that's going to happen. But it looks like the Knicks have interest in him, and I don't know exactly what the Knicks' plan is, but Knicks now host Marshall Green thinks their plan could be to pair Jason Kidd with Giannis Antetokounmpo, who Kidd actually has a very good relationship with, dating back to their time with the Milwaukee Bucks. And man, it would be just absolutely insane if after all that's happened over the past 4 or 5 months with this franchise, if Jason Kidd ended up leaving. That would be crazy, and it would just be another week, another month of drama here in the world of the Dallas Mavericks. Let me know down in the comment section, do you think Jason Kidd is going to stay, or is he going to go? Type S for stay or type G for go. Let me know down there in the comment section. And while you're down there, I'm going to tell you guys about our sponsor, which is Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Prize Picks has millions of members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, making daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. And the championship series in basketball is here. What a game we had last night between the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. You can get in on the action in Prize Picks in over 30 states, including California, Georgia, Florida, and Texas. And they put their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes if you play Prize Picks. How do you play? It's super easy. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive that bonus. It is guaranteed. Again, download the app and use code CLNS to get the $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to Prize Picks. Run your game. Another thing regarding Jason Kidd is I talked about continuity being key as far as his coaching staff goes. And now that Sean Sweeney is no longer going to be a candidate for the Phoenix Suns head coaching job, Jason Kidd's basically going to have his same coaching staff intact for this upcoming season. And I thought that was going to be a super important thing for the Mavericks to have in order to have a successful year. Now, with the uncertainty surrounding Kidd, could you see some of his coaching staff maybe look elsewhere? I saw Sean Sweeney could be a potential candidate for an assistant coaching job with the San Antonio Spurs. I've seen some other Mavericks assistant coach names thrown out there for other jobs. So Jason Kidd going to the New York Knicks would unsettle quite a few things. And to be honest, guys, I really hope it doesn't happen because, like I said, I think right now, as we sit here, Jason Kidd is the right man for the job. I think he did a great job in the second half of the season keeping this Mavericks team together when they could have easily folded. They could have easily just quit playing basketball, more or less, given the trade, the injuries, and everything that happened. But they stuck together and they got themselves into the play-in. They even won a play-in game. They couldn't get themselves into the postseason because all the damage was already done. But I think Kidd did a really good job last year, to be honest with you. And where the Mavericks window is right now, with as it's constructed, Kyrie, Anthony Davis, Cooper Flag coming in, the window really does look like it's a 2 to 3 year window. And with Kidd having 2 years left on his contract, I just let him ride that out and see what happens from there. So I hope Jason Kidd stays, but I would have said it's 95% he stays 3 days ago. If you ask me right now what the percentage is Jason Kidd stays or goes to the New York Knicks, I'd probably put it at 55% he stays, 45% he goes. I think it's pretty close to 50-50 right now regarding the future of Mavs head coach Jason Kidd. Another nugget I wanted to give you guys was Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be working out with the Dallas Mavericks early next week. I don't know if it's an individual workout or if it's part of a group workout, but it looks like DSJ is going to be visiting Dallas and getting a workout with the Mavericks. And the Mavericks and DSJ still have a good relationship, even after he was traded from the Mavericks to the New York Knicks, ironically enough, in the KP trade. Dennis knows a lot of people still in the Mavs organization and has an affinity for Dallas as well. So I think this would be cool if the Mavs were to bring Dennis Smith home. It would be a veteran minimum contract. Look, there's a reason he's been in and out of the league over the last couple of seasons. He actually had a decent stint there, I believe in Brooklyn, where he was playing some really good basketball and kind of reinvented himself as a defense-first guard, which if the Mavs are getting that out of Dennis Smith as their 14th, 15th guy on the roster, if he could be Spencer Dinwiddie next year for the Dallas Mavericks, if he could fill that role of being the guy who can pop into the rotation if they need to, but if everyone's healthy, he's not really in that rotation. He's a break glass in case of emergency. I absolutely would not hate the Mavericks bringing back Dennis Smith on a 1-year veteran minimum contract. They're going to be looking at some other veterans as well. So a lot of workouts will be coming over the days and weeks, especially with the NBA draft coming up in a couple of weeks as well. They'll have draft workouts. They'll have veteran free agent workouts where they could, I believe it's like a G League thing or whatever, but they'll have guys coming in and out over the next couple of weeks. So we'll, of course, keep you up to date here on the channel if any of that comes to fruition. So, man, it's crazy. All 4 DFW teams could have a new head coach in the same calendar year with Brian Schottenheimer at the Dallas Cowboys. The Stars just fired their head coach today. I don't know if you guys saw that. Jason Kidd could be heading to the New York Knicks, and the Rangers are an absolute disaster right now. So we could be looking at a whole new landscape in Dallas-Fort Worth sports, but Jason Kidd may be heading to the New York Knicks, and big changes could be coming for the Dallas Mavericks here in the future. That is going to be it for today's show, guys. Appreciate you for tuning into this at-home version of Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. My name is Jeffrey Cooperstein. You can go give me a follow on Twitter at Jeff_Coop27, where if Mavs news drops, you'll hear about it there first, and then you'll hear about it here on the channel. So hit that sub button. Hope everyone has a great weekend. We'll see you guys soon.